last call, this is the new thing that we're doing. So y'all just bow your heads if you want to, close your eyes. I'm just going to open up with prayer. So dear Lord, I come to you in this moment. I come to you and I bring you every single one of us that is on this call, Lord. If we are speaking or if we are listening, you have brought us here for a reason, Lord. I ask that you would calm all of our nerves, that you would open all of our hearts and all of our minds, and let our thoughts and our words be from you, Lord, and that everyone would get what they wanted out of this call, Lord. So I ask all this in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Kick it off on you, boo.
All right. I'm sweating. I'm like really warm. See, it doesn't change, you guys. Being nervous, it doesn't change. All right. So we're talking about leadership lifestyle, okay? And so a lot of y'all know I'm a homeschool mom, so I looked up lifestyle, okay? Because I wanted like a concrete, hard, what's a lifestyle? Like I could think about it, but what is it actually? So a lifestyle is a typical way of life, okay? Typical meaning it's normal. It's just the way you kind of do things in your life, all right? Leadership lifestyle needs to be in your actions, but it also needs to be in your mindset. We're going to start with this because that's literally where everything starts. It all starts in your mind first and foremost, okay? And literally your thoughts, your negative actions, everything starts in your head first. So if you can start to learn to control that and work from there, everything else is going to flow in a positive manner after that, all right? So leadership lifestyle needs to be in your actions because leadership is an action word. Lead, action word, okay? It means you do stuff. You don't just say, I'm a leader and do nothing. You've got to do stuff. But again, it's also in your mindset, okay? So the beginning of understanding that leadership is a lifestyle is going to start with some reflection. Yay, self-reflection. My therapist has me doing this a lot. It's not always fun, okay? But reflection, all right? So the first thing I want y'all to think about is who are you? Who are you? The positives of who you are, the negatives of who you are, because no one is perfect. Let's be real, right? I was telling the girls earlier, I literally lost it on my kids today over freaking pumpkin pancakes, all right? Nobody's perfect. So the positives and the negatives of who you are, okay? Next, who do the people closest to you say that you are, all right? Who are those closest to you? Are they going to say the same thing that you say? Well, it might be different. Let's just be real, all right? You think about that. What do the people closest to you say about you, okay? What about your customers? Who are you to your customers? What do you show to your customers? All right, what about your team? You're a leader, you've got a team. Who does your team say you are? Okay, these are key things. We're getting to a point, I promise. All right, and then I want you to think about what you want your life to look like and all those things above. What do you want that to look like? What do you want people closest to you? What do you want that to look like? What do you want them to say versus what they're going to say? Okay. Same thing with your team and your customers. What do you want them to say versus the actual hardcore truth? Because they're probably not the same. All right. We all have improvement. Okay. So this is incredibly important for you to know because you've got to be authentic to you. All right. You cannot be one person to your customers and someone else to the people on your team. Okay. If people joined Anya and they're expecting the person I'm giving out to my customers and they get someone completely different, that is not okay. All right. I'm not being authentically me. So it's incredibly important to know, am I being the same person all the way throughout? Or do I have like 15 personalities? That's a problem. All right. That's inauthentic. That's not going to work. People will not trust you. Okay. People joined you for a reason. Okay, so being authentically you should be pouring out into every aspect of your life. It shouldn't waver. You shouldn't be one person to your teammates. I mean, I'm not screaming at my team about pancakes, but like I am going to give them the truth about the mess that they made if they made the mess, like my children. Okay, so that's across the board. I'm going to be direct and I'm going to be honest. You made a mess. You need to clean it up. And then, the kids start fussing and fighting, and that's when we got to get into it. The team doesn't do that, okay? But it should be the same across the board. Your teammates joined you for a reason. Some of them might have been past customers. If you start flipping and flopping who you are, what are they supposed to believe? What are they supposed to look at as good, true leadership? And one of our core values being that we should have authenticity, right? Okay. We want to make sure that our people trust us, our customers trust us, our teammates trust us, people in our lives trust us, right? But they may not trust you for a reason. So that's something you've really got to look in and at yourself. Why does my team not trust me? Why are they not showing up? Okay. Why do they not want to listen to me? Why do they not want to come to a training? Do they trust you? Do they believe in you? Do they believe that you believe in you? Okay. Because all those things should be the same across the board. In my business, okay, business Anya has a totally different focus than Anya having a glass of wine with you. That's normal. Okay. But through and through, whether I'm teaching 12-year-olds, whether I'm teaching my own kids, being a mom, leading, talking to customers, hanging out with friends, the overall expectation is the same. We're going to have a good time. All right. But I'm also going to be honest with you. We might do some silly things. We might not fully think things through. Okay. But we're going to have a good time. All right. Overall, that should be the same expectations. All right. And I say this because if you try to be 15 other people, it's going to pour out. They're going to know. You're going to look like a fake. You're going to look like a fraud. And that's not going to help you anywhere in your business or your leadership. Okay. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I sent one of my directors, I'm the football team admin for my little one. And I sent her our football email. And she's like, hi, I know you didn't mean to send this to me. If I acted like I had my life together 24/7, that would be extremely out of character, right? But it's not out of character because Anya makes lots of mistakes. I'm human, right? And I do things really, really fast, which bumbles things up. My customers also know this. I've apologized to my customers a lot of times, but one of my customers told me the other day, I'm so thankful that when you make a mistake, you apologize because I know it's coming from a genuine place. That's what we want. If that person joins me and I'm not a genuine leader, we see where the issues come in, okay? Next is being mindful of your leadership lifestyle, but also having a growth mindset at the same time, okay? You want to show up as the person you want to be, all right? Yes, you're human. You're going to make mistakes. That's where grace comes in from everybody that knows you and your team. You are human. It's okay. You need to have grace on yourself, but you should be wanting to continue improving your own business, okay? Your mindset, your lifestyle, and your leadership skills. That means you pouring into yourself. Okay. So if you're like, I don't know, I've never read a leadership book. I've never listened to a leadership podcast. We got to start changing some things because you've got to change your mindset. And I've said this to my team before. I cannot expect that my 6-year-old is going to act like my 12-year-old, right? They're at two different levels. When you're a certified consultant, you are not going to be the same as a lead consultant. You've got more things on your plate to worry about, more things to do. You've got to start growing that mindset to mature to where you are and where you want to be. Okay. So lots of self-improvement there. If you are naturally a negative person, all right, that's something to know. You need to know that about yourself. You need to be able to work on that and say, I don't like that about me. I need to change it up because you're influencing others. Whether you believe it or not, I see this in so many leaders. They don't understand the weight of the influence they have in their hands. People are watching you, whether it's your teamies or someone else's teamies or someone on your director's page. They're literally watching you because you're a leader. Okay. What you do does matter. All right. Okay. What you do, it does. It matters. I promise. All right. So you have to think about that too when it comes to the fact that your job is to help your people get where you are. Okay. When you're focused on helping them reach their goals and they want to get where you are, that's your primary job. Okay. And I want you to think about this too, when it comes to your mindset and your growth mindset. Would you want, whatever consultant you are, insert lead consultant or star consultant, would you want a star consultant like you on your team? That's going to tell you a whole lot right there. Because if you're like, ooh, no, I'm good. Would you entrust your team page, if you are a director and above, entrust your team page to a superstar consultant like yourself? That's a big question, right? And if the answer is no, we've got some work to do, okay? You got to do some work internally and in your business to get where you would say, absolutely, I would totally take that and help them out, all right? Got to be thinking about things like that. Next, your influence of others, okay? We talked about this for a second. I want you to also pay attention to who's influencing you, okay? And even your team, all right? Positive or negative, you're most like the 5 people you're around all the time, right? So how are they influencing you? Because however they're influencing you, if you walk away from them and you're like, dang, I really don't feel like I'm anyone special. I really feel like crap. All they did was berate me and tear me down and tell me all the things that I'm doing wrong. that is now going to come out of you and leak into your people because it's going to leak into your influence. Okay. So if you've got someone on a pedestal and they're constantly talking about, I'm so great, I'm this, I'm that, guess what you're going to start doing? The same thing. You about to think you're God's gift to earth. Okay. Like, hold on, pipe down. Because again, we're all human. No one's perfect, right? But that's what happens, whether you realize it or not. And it can even happen in small spaces. You slowly start to become like who is influencing you. So you need to pick your influences very, very wisely. All right. Because if you're all about yourself, what do you think that's going to do? Talking about how awesome you are. Well, I've got 4K PRV right now. Look at me. I don't know what y'all are doing down there. What do you think that's going to do to the environment of your team? Okay. What do you think your leaders that are coming up are going to do? They're going to do the same thing. Okay. What does that do to the overall brand new consultant coming in? Ooh, why is she acting like that? Why? What? That doesn't seem like someone who's going to teach me. That doesn't seem like someone who's going to mentor me and help me get to where I need to be. Okay. They don't care about me. They care about them. It's the them show. That's not okay. All right. That should not be a part of our leadership lifestyle. Part of our leadership lifestyle should be serving other people with our boundaries in place. Catch the last part. With our boundaries in place. That's very hard for me, working on that also in therapy. So there's that. Okay. All right. I'm always going to choose to be the dumbest person in my group. Always, hands down, because I want to be influenced in the right ways to grow, change my mindset, and show up as the girl that I want to be, the woman, not a girl. I'm not a girl. I don't know, it's in my head. Anyways, so that's what I want y'all to think about, okay? I want y'all to be influenced in the right way so that you can grow. Remember, you've also got influence on other people, and you want them to see the best so that they can grow, and it's going to trickle down. You're going to have this beautiful, wonderful Sensi family tree of all these wonderful, serving, influential leaders in the name of Jesus, proclaiming that right there. All right, go ahead, Whitney.
Yes, all of that. So, hey guys, I'm Whitney. We are literally on the road to this, but hopefully y'all can hear me. And I didn't really think about it being dark, so I literally have all the lights on. Doesn't matter if you can see me. But anyways, leadership lifestyle. Okay, so this encompasses so many things. Really thinking about leading as a lifestyle, right? But what I'm going to talk about tonight is being reliable and being authentic. And that kind of ties into what Anya already talked about. But leadership is a way of life. It is a mindset. It's something that you have to do day in and day out. And what has to be in the forefront of your mind as a leader is, how can I help my team and others get to where they want to be? How can I help my team? How can I help them with what they need? Not necessarily what can I help them do to help myself or to further myself, but more about what can that's going to involve a conversation, right? That's going to have to be asked. What is it that you want? Okay. Being reliable as a leader is doing what you say you're going to do, and being authentic is being who you say you are, right? So stop talking about stuff. Stop talking about how you're sponsoring if you're not taking the action to sponsor. Stop talking about high PRV if you're not consistently getting that high PRV, right? So being reliable is doing what you say you're going to do, knowing that no matter what happens, literally no matter what happens in life, my husband, my kids know that Sensi is a lifestyle for us. It is a way that it is a family business, for one. Obviously, we were literally on the way to Disney, and I'm like, if y'all don't be quiet, get on your iPads and say nothing, I'm about to get you. We ain't going to Disney, okay? So that's where we're at, right? But knowing that no matter what happens in life, your team knows that you're going to be there. You may not be there that minute. You may not be there that day. You may not be there exactly when they need an answer, but they know that you're showing up to help them in their business, okay? For me, it's in my business. Much. We have to give when people are freezing, everybody's frozen. Yes? No?
You're good, Whitney. Go
Anybody
ahead.
else?
You're good now.
Okay, awesome. Sorry about that, guys. I don't even know where I was, but as a leader, my team knows that I'm going to be there helping them get to where they want to be. I'm going to be there consistently during my business hours. Right? Business. People are going to come and go on your team. If people aren't coming and going, your team group's not big enough, right? I'm going to keep on going. They're going to come and go. That's expected in this business. We come and go, but as a leader, we're always here. We're always going to be here to help. We're always going to be helping move forward and all of those things. As a leader, you aren't going anywhere, and you know that you're going to be working in the dirt with them, right? So that means that when they're having the hard times, you can relate because you've had those hard times too. You need to get down, get your hands dirty, and show them how you're actually working. Everyone is frozen, so I'm just going to keep on going until someone tells me to stop. But they know that. They know that you're working their business. They don't ever have to question if you're doing something in your business because you're consistently showing up, whether it be on the team page, your stories, your social media, emails, whatever it is. There's so many different things. As leaders, like I said, we don't just talk about doing the things we're supposed to do in our business. We're actually doing them. And like I said earlier, stop talking about it. Stop worrying about where you're training next or who you're training for, or all of that Cincy famous crap, and worry about your team and your business. Yeah, I said it. Stop talking about Facebook parties if you're not partying on Facebook, guys. Leadership is not what you see on social media. Leadership is not what you see on social media. It's not the shout outs. It's not the awards. It's not the incentives. Leadership is the behind the scenes work that you don't know are happening unless your leader is sharing with you. This is how I'm working with my people. Okay. The text, the coaching, the relationship, the emails, the personal stuff, right? All of that things that you don't see necessarily being posted or shared. That is the heart of leadership. Okay, because a leader isn't leading the pack. It's in the middle helping everyone around them. All right. And we have to stop trying to be the leader of the pack all the time. We need to give that control, that spotlight, that authority, whatever it may be, to someone else. Because that's when you know you are the leader, because they don't know who the leader is, because you are helping everyone else be the same as you. Okay. Stop believing what you see on social media. 90% of it is fake. And I can truly say that the leader speaking tonight, AKA Chastity Rapson, she always keeping it real, y'all, okay? Because social media is fake. Stop believing what you see. Stop believing what you see. So I'm really big on actionable items in trainings. So I'm going to give y'all some actionable items to work towards a leadership lifestyle. Because a lot of times, and I asked my leaders the other day, if you don't necessarily feel like a leader, I asked them to drop an emoji in the comments, and a lot of them did because they don't feel like they're a leader. So here are some steps to start getting to that place and to start having that leadership lifestyle. First thing first is you're going to do something real scary. You're going to get uncomfortable. You're going to go live, whatever it may be. Go live, have a joint conversation you've been dreading, make a vulnerable post. Whatever it is, just do something scary, because that, once you do it, you're going to feel so accomplished, and that's going to be able to take you to the next step of what your next scary thing is. And those scary things are going to pay off, right? That scary joint conversation or that live, you're going to get some great feedback from it, I guarantee you. So do something scary and uncomfortable in your business. That is when we grow, okay? Focus less on how your life and how your leadership looks, and focus more on how it feels to you. How does your leadership feel? When you go back and read your post to your leaders, how does that make you feel? Yeah, you're going to have hard conversations. You're going to have to do some hard posts. You're going to have to, do the hard things, right? Get uncomfortable. But how does that make you feel? Can you say at the end of the day, I have done what I need to do as leader, and not just for your downline, not just for your front line, but as a leader in Cincy, okay? Leadership is not easy. That is, if you're expecting that, you need to go ahead and change your mindset on that right now. But focus more on how your leadership feels. Take a step back, have that self-reflection. Not how does it look? Not is it pretty and it fit in a box with a pretty bow? It should be ugly. If it's pretty and it fits in a box with a perfect bow, then you're probably not leading in a successful way. Okay. Another actionable item is send an email. Send an email to your teammates, even if it's just one person. I want you to send an email to them and find something to recognize them for, whether it be any PRV on the 6th of the month, active, 500, whatever it is. I want you to send an email or a one-on-one type of communication to your consultants to say, hey, I see you. I appreciate you. My business would not be the same without you. And I want to help you if you're ready for the next step, whatever it may be. Make it genuine, make it sound like you, and start having that one-on-one conversation. As you grow, the one-on-ones are going to be harder, and that's where you're going to have to figure out who and where and how and why am I going to work with these people, and Ray's going to touch on that. But start now, start today, start small. So when you're bigger, right, you can say, I've worked with these people. I know who they are. I know what they want. And if you don't have anyone to lead, know that you do, because it's not just about who you personally sponsored. This is a group. We are all in this together, and know that if you're a leader on a leader's page, you're here. I screenshot every single name in here. I'm on my phone, so it's harder tonight, but I know you're here. I see you're here, and you are making a difference, not just to your downline, but to everyone here. And then you need to go sponsor someone to, to build that business and to have that foundation. And that is one of the core things that we're going to teach you. So, know that leadership is within you, and doing the hard things is going to take you to the next step. And I appreciate y'all all being on here, because literally that is the first step to doing it. The next step is to take that action and what we're saying in your business to see the results of the success that you want. Love you guys. And I think Amber's next. Yeah, Amber.
Yeah, thanks, Whit. Thanks. I'm over here taking all the notes. So number one, this was not in my notes. As a leader, you're always learning. I'm literally tearing up my pages right now, guys. So number one, I know a lot of us have said, thank you for being on. Thank you for being on. That's really the first thing. And if I look back to when I became a Scentsy consultant, and I know the girls on this call too that are training, we always showed up. We always showed up for the trainings that were offered. We always showed up to those YouTube trainings. We always tried to find different things that would work for us if we were trying to find some information. So you're doing the first thing that you need to do as a leader, because you can take information from every single one of us. And if something that I say doesn't work for you, something that Whitney just freaking killed might have worked for you. Or if Anya singing I'm Not a Girl or whatever is sticking in your head, like it's still stuck in my head, like you're here. So anywho, Whitney, you're amazing. Disney driving soul sister. All right. So first thing I want you to think about is, what does a leadership lifestyle look like to you? And I want you to put that in the comments. What does a leadership lifestyle look like to you? And I talked to my husband about this after I did my notes, because I really wanted to kind of dig into what does that mean? What does a leadership lifestyle look like? Because your lifestyle is your life. Like Anya said, who are you behind closed doors? Who are you? I used to be a teacher. Who was I as a teacher? Who was I when I'm out in my neighborhood? Who am I with my husband? Who am I with my friends? I'm the same person. So that needs to be the same person you're looking at. Okay, so I'm just going to shout out something: being present for my team, genuine, kind, hustle, caring, sharing, giving, lead from the front, working with my team. Okay, so you guys, I want you to identify what it is that you're saying that you think that a leadership lifestyle is, and I want you to embody that in you. It's really important that what you want as a leader is something that you are aspiring and you are trying to be. Okay. You're not going to be a perfect human being. Nobody on this earth is perfect. But when you think about the leader that you want to be, I want you to remember what it is that when you think of a leader, you think of the leader that you want to follow. That's who you're thinking of. Okay. So teaching, brainstorming together, helping others reach their goals. You are a helper. like Whitney said, leaders don't lead the pack. They're in the middle helping. You are getting down and dirty in the dirt with them. You are not this person that's on a pedestal. And I want you guys to remember that, because none of you guys said that you would like to follow a leader in a lifestyle of being on a pedestal, right? Okay. So I really try to tell myself, lead with love, vulnerability, being compassionate, and being consistent. Consistency is going to be the key in every aspect of your business, especially leadership. Okay. So I have some notes down of keys to successful leadership. So number one, stop overcomplicating it. Stop overcomplicating leadership. We have overcomplicated our businesses. And I want you guys are all leading above. If you're watching this recording, you're not a leader yet. I want you to think about this. Do not overcomplicate it. Okay. What you need to do is communicate. You need to be real. You need to show what you're doing to find success. And if you aren't finding success where you are as a leader, you're watching trainings, you're looking at other different resources, and you're sharing that with your people. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, yeah, I think Anya said, I got 4,000 PRV. If I'm sitting over here and I'm not even partying and I don't have Cincy Club and I don't have this, that, and the other. Okay. You need to be real with them. Share training, share what's working with you, share ideas. Okay. And you need to believe that you're an excellent leader. You need to believe it. You need to tell yourself that even when you're like, I don't know how to lead, you need to tell yourself you're an excellent leader, because I'm going to tell you what right now, if you're communicating, if you're showing up for your team, if you're sharing things, you're doing all of those things, you're being an amazing leader. Okay. And you're working your business too. You're working your business because your business is first. Remember that your business is first. And if you're not working your business, you cannot help others be successful. So next, are you the type of leader that your teamies will come to in situations because they trust you? This is something that my husband was just talking to me about. He was in the grocery business for 18 years. And some of you who are younger are like, wow, it's a really long time. He was in the grocery business for 18 years. Okay. And he was in management, and he would always say, Chastity, Amber aging me. Squirrel. Okay. He said to me that other managers at different stores would always ask him, why is it that your workers listen to you so well? Why is it that they'll pick up extra shifts? Why is it that this, that, and the other? And he's like, because I'm on the same page as them, because I'm friends with them, because I know them, they trust me, and they know that if it gets crazy and it gets like I have to go out there with them, I will do it. Okay. That goes so far, guys. So far. You have to work with them. You are not, and this goes back to what Whitney said, you have to be getting dirty with them. They have to know, the people on your team that have joined you for a reason because they trusted you, have to know that you're not going to leave them hanging, that you are going to be there when they're struggling, that you're going to be there. You're going to trust them enough to sit there and be like, hey, can you share that on our team page? Hey, can you go live? It's not because we don't see something in you. Okay. So what I had said before Anthony had even said any of that, you have to be willing to pick up rocks if you want them to move mountains. Okay. You have to be the building block and down and dirty with them. Okay. You have to do it. None of us are anything special. We all started as essential consultant, every single one of us. That if you're looking at any of us training tonight and you're like, wow, they're an SSD. Okay, cool. A title is not everything. A title is not everything. And this is going to lead me into my next point. If you're chasing a title, and this is something we talked about this week among us that are talking, if you're chasing a title, you are going to get to a point and a stopping point. And you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing Cincy? Because chasing a title is not going to be it. It's not. And we've all been there, right? If I could just hit lead consultant, if I could just hit superstar consultant, if I could just be a director, if I could just be a superstar director, everything's going to be fixed, right? That it's not what it is. So I want you guys to remember this, that your why in Scentsy, and especially as a leader, because leadership is hard, leadership is not easy. Your why has to be so emotionally attached that when things get hard, I'm home 24/7 with a crying almost 5-month-old. I don't know how to work my business. My team, my leaders know that. They know I still show up, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm floundering, literally floundering. But my why is so emotionally attached that if I don't work my business, if I don't work with my leaders, if I don't party, if I don't do this, that, and the other, if I don't have conversations, I don't get to stay home with my son. So it's not a question of how do I get this done? It's when do I get it done? Because my business looks different. Okay. Leadership is the same. Do your team members and your group members know that you're still going to show up no matter the circumstances? That should be what is driving your leadership. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's pretty. It doesn't matter if you spell things correctly. It doesn't matter if you can show up and schedule out your posts for the whole week, because that's when you have those 15 minutes to work. It doesn't matter. Okay. Showing up consistently, being vulnerable, being that authentic leader that you are is what is going to get you far. Okay. And I just rhymed. That was great. All right. I put on here, a leadership lifestyle is consistently doing what you expect him to do. I already said that. Wow, this is going off my notes. Look at there. All right. So, also being, in leadership, knowing that everyone's why is not going to be yours. Not everybody's why is going to be as strong as yours. And I can guarantee you that how many people, we have 82 people on here right now. If you guys think about your why when you first joined and your why now, it's probably completely different. Okay. It evolves, and that's okay. And that's the beauty of Scentsy. That's the beauty of starting as an essential consultant, having no idea what you're doing and morphing into a leader. You're learning as you're going, but you're growing. Okay. So know that not everybody's why is going to be the same as yours. And that's okay. Okay. Meet people where they're at, work with them where they're at, show them love. If they don't want it, that's okay. They're human. They can decide for themselves. They're an independent Scentsy consultant. 3 more things. Stop with the comparison game. Okay. Whitney kind of already hit on this with social media. We're seeing it now more than ever that we are all hyper focused on what we think other people are doing. Okay. If you see a leader doing something, I can guarantee you that's just literally a snippet of 5 seconds of their life. It might've been filmed at the beginning of the week and they're just now showing it. Okay. And I know that because I know people who do that. I didn't even know you could do that. That's genius. But what I'm saying is that what you think you're seeing could have been a reel that was made a month ago, right? And you're like, damn, they got it all together. Okay. Stop comparing yourself. But I do recommend finding your tribe. I recommend you linking arms with somebody. As a leader, you need it. Linking arms with somebody who is in this season of Scentsy, whatever you're in, with you, and linking arms with somebody to be accountability with you. That when you're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to do it, they're going to challenge you to do, okay, just have one income producing activity conversation. Have one sponsoring conversation, book a party. Okay. Let's see. Do consistently what you know you need to do, what you're telling your teams to do. Okay. I don't tell my team or my group to do anything that I'm not doing myself, and cut the fluff. Okay. If you need to, do not disturb your phone. Put your phone in then another side of the house. Silence the messenger. That's if you have a Mac, that's what I had to do today. Silence that and get your stuff done. And then you can get back to what you were doing. but your team needs to see the realness. They need to see the behind the scenes. You need to be vulnerable with them. And, you know, be honest always. Showing up is going to go a very long way. But sharing what you're doing to be successful and sharing with your team and your group, share in your team page, share in your leadership page. If you're scared, that's fine. Share it anyways, because I guarantee whatever you share that you're scared to share, there's going to be power in it, because you have no idea what you're doing might just spark an idea in somebody else. And we are all so much better together, that you don't ever know until you share. So don't do leadership alone. And you guys are all amazing. Ray.
Okay, that was so good, Amber. Everybody that's gone so far, y'all have literally slayed it. So we have a couple more speakers. I'm going to talk to you guys I want to talk to you guys about knowing that you can't make someone else want to work their business. Okay. That's really hard in leadership, but what I will tell you is once you accept that, you will go so far. Okay. Not only with your own business, but you will know who to reach out to, who to work with, and how to help them reach their goals. Okay. Because at least I remember, and you guys can drop in the, Stacy, it's the hair. Anyway, sorry. You can drop in the comments if you guys can kind of relate to this. So when I first joined 5 years ago, actually, 4 days from now will be my 5-year anniversary. But 5 years ago when I joined, and I remember recruiting my first couple teamies, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to do this together, right? And then they would tell me that they wanted to do this, this, and this, but their actions didn't meet up with their words, right? They were telling me that they wanted to have 2,000 PRV to get that 30% paycheck, but they weren't booking parties. They weren't even trying to book parties. They weren't even willing to talk to people or to connect with new people. Or they would tell me that they want to promote to lead consultant, or they want to help someone else change their life. And you'd go and ask them and say, hey, have you had any sponsoring conversations? And they're like, no. And it's like the third week of the month. And you're like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. Okay. Listen, you have to accept the fact that just because someone says they want it doesn't mean jack anything. Okay. What they say plus their actions is going to tell you what they want out of this business. Okay. Actions speak louder than words, right? We have heard that probably our entire lives. I have. Okay. And so it's okay. It's okay to let someone go. Okay. It's okay. And that is one of the biggest things with leadership that we have to accept and move forward with. Okay. So once you accept that, you will actually learn when to push someone. Okay. There's a difference between pushing someone to reach your own goals and pushing someone to reach their goals. Okay. I want you guys to know the difference. If you are pushing someone to reach your own goals, I promise you, at some point, that person is going to resent you. At some point, they might in the beginning follow through with those challenges and whatever you're telling them to do. And they might follow through with it. They might follow through with it for years, but there's going to come a time where they all of a sudden they reflect and they're like, hold up. Am I doing all these challenges and all of these things to reach my goals, or am I doing them to please someone else and to help them reach their goals? Okay. So I think Chastity said it. No, Chastity hasn't said it. She hasn't spoken yet. I don't know who said it. Someone said it. You have to meet them where they are. Okay. You have to learn what their goals are and what they want out of this business. If you have someone join and they tell you from the beginning, I only want to get free Scentsy for myself, that is not someone that you are going to push, right? Because if you push them, there is a big chance that they're going to end up quitting and leaving. Okay. And I say that because I have been there. I have pushed someone who didn't want to be at the top of the company. They didn't want to make $10,000 paychecks. They didn't want to leave their full-time job. And I wanted that for them. Okay. So take it from me, and I'm sure I'm not the only person, but that person literally, I will never forget, she texted me back and said, Scentsy is not a priority. I am no longer doing this because you have pushed me to my breaking point, and I don't want to do this anymore. And she actually contacted Scentsy and went inactive. Okay. And it was because I was pushing her towards something that I wanted for her. Okay. So know when to push, know when to let go. Okay. If they tell you this is not what I want, then literally accept that. Okay. Accept it and let it go. And if it is someone who joins and they say, and listen, people can also change their mind. Okay. And you can't get mad at them. This is their life. This is their business. So if they join and they're like, yeah, I want to make like big money. Okay. I want to make big money. I want to do all the parties. I want to go full fledged. And then all of a sudden they come to you and they tell you, hey, I've changed my mind. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, whatever the reason is. I want to just like focus on just getting my own Scentsy free and half off. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. It's their business. They can change their mind. It's their life. Okay. You have to accept and you have to respect that. You have to respect that. That's part of being a leader. Okay. So, let's see. All you can do as a leader is offer. Okay. Jennifer Anderson, actually, she's another SSD. I went on a retreat with her back in August, and I had been talking to her because that's one of the hardest things about being in leadership is people having expectations, or as a leader having expectations for other leaders. And she actually told me, she was like, all you can do is offer. All you can do is offer your help. Okay. That is your job as a leader. Offer guidance, offer assistance, offer challenges. Okay. And then it's up to the receiving end, the other person, the consultant, your teamie, whoever it is, to accept that offer. Okay. And then you move forward. Just like with your customers, right? You offer them, hey, I have an October whiff box that's worth $56 or $57, whatever it is, and it's worth $30. Okay. Do you get upset when they tell you no? I'm good? No, you don't. You just keep moving right along until you hit your whiff box goal or whatever goal you have. Okay. You don't get upset. Same thing. If you go to a restaurant and someone says, or the server comes up to you like last night and they're like, hey, do you want dessert? Do you think that they get upset when you say no? No, they don't. They move on to the next table. Someone's going to want dessert. I mean, your girl bought dessert, but I'm just saying, okay? So all you can do is offer, okay? All you can do is offer, guide, help them with challenges. You can't do it for them though, okay? So if they accept that offer and then you're like, hey, I'm challenging you to go have 2 join conversations today. Reach out to me later on. And then they reach out to you and they're like, hey, I can't come up with 5 people to ask. You can't come up with the people to ask for them, okay? They have to do the work. We all have our own businesses. We all have our own work to do, okay? You can't do the work for them. And be upfront with them like, look, girl, I can't have the joint conversations for you, okay? If I do have the joint conversations for you, they gonna be joined under my link, okay? My link. So now the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is once your business gets bigger and bigger and you start recruiting a lot of people, okay? It's going to get harder and harder to have one-on-one connections with your team. So I want to remind you guys to give yourself grace, okay? Because you're one person. And so if you end up having 20 frontline, 50 frontline, I mean, the list goes on, 100 frontline, that doesn't even include your downline, right? It's going to be hard to connect with all 50 people, including your downline. It's going to be hard to still run your business and connect with your customers. It's going to be hard to still connect with your spouse and your children and your friends and your family. Okay. So give yourself grace. You do not have to connect one-on-one with every single person in your team or in your front line all the time. Okay. make that connection. Okay. It doesn't mean you have to talk to them. It doesn't even mean you have to talk to them weekly. Okay. But number one, you need to open that door and let them know, like, hey, I'm here for you. If you need anything, reach out to me. Okay. But I will say the first 70 days are imperative that you are in contact with your new teenies, your frontline. Okay. But ultimately, your number one person that you need to be in contact with are going to be your frontline. Okay. And then your downline are going to come too, because you're going to end up having downline who maybe connect with you deeper than their sponsor. That could totally be a thing. Or maybe their sponsor dipped out and they want guidance and they want more. So you're going to end up training them, okay, or mentoring them, guiding them. There's so many different reasons that you might end up mentoring someone else who's not necessarily your frontline. And that's perfectly okay. I have plenty of people that I mentor that aren't my frontline. Okay. I don't even get paid off them, which that's not why I'm mentoring, to get paid off. But I'm just saying that your frontline is going to be your main priority in regards to training and recruiting. But you can also have downline that, for me anyway, I have downline who I consider my frontline, even though on the workstation, they're not my frontline. Okay, does that make sense? So give yourself grace. And one of the things I actually have on my monthly to-do list is, so I have a monthly to-do list. It's a big, I've shared it many, many times. Some of you might have seen it. Some of you, I might need to share it more. But it's one big Excel spreadsheet, and it's like sectioned out with weeks and then months. Okay, so each month, within each week, I have certain tasks that I have to complete. Okay, that's just how my brain works, and then I check them off as I do them. Okay, one of the tasks that I have on the last 2 weeks of the month is connect with frontline and connect with downline. I actually have it in the last 3 weeks. So the first week is always my business. The last 3 weeks, one of my tasks is always connect with frontline and then connect with downline, and I have a number. So mine is 5. So 1 week I have to connect with 5 frontline. The next week I have to connect with 5 downline. Okay. And then, so once I do that and I connect with my 5 frontline, then the following month, so whoever I connect with in October and November, it's going to be completely different people. Okay. And so that is how you can keep up with everybody once you start growing a huge team and group. That's one way that you can keep up if you're a list person like me. Okay. So you'll realize very quickly, as soon as someone joins, who wants it and who doesn't. Okay. At the end of the day, let me just tell you, you will know when you have a rock star as a frontline or as a teamie in general. Okay, you will know. A rock star frontline or a rock star teamie, they're not going to want your help, but their actions are going to meet up with their words. They won't need you to send them trainings. They won't need you to challenge them. Why? Because they're going to challenge themselves. They're going to challenge themselves. They're going to go out and find trainings on bag parties if that's what they want to grow in. They're going to do it on their own. Okay. They're not going to need you. And they are the 1%. Yes, Chastity. They are the 1%. Okay. And I promise you they're out there. They are very hard to find, but I promise you they are out there. And that's why we always say you have to keep growing. Okay. So I am done. Chastity, bring it on, girl.
Okay, y'all. So number one, thank y'all for sticking out and being on here with us and showing up tonight, because I can promise you we're taking attendance. We know who's showing up. We know who's not. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but what I am saying is that every single one of us that are doing this training tonight have had shit going on in our life where we didn't necessarily want to show up. I have some great eye drops that were sent to me in my FabFitFun box that made my eyes not red, but my eyes have looked like I've been smoking weed for 2 weeks. Like, that's how red they were. And I'm just being real. Y'all know who I am. It is who I am. And I mean, my family's been screaming like crazy. I turned my video off to threaten everybody's life. It's a shit show around here. There was a hostage situation. My mother-in-law was going to have to come over. I didn't want that. It is what it is. But I want you guys to know that we're all here. So I want to thank you for being on. I want to thank all of you guys for sticking with us. And like I said, we're only going to talk for a little bit. So I'm going to talk a little bit also about what Ray Ray's talked about, but I want you to know that your number one goal as a leader is to teach and help others achieve the success that they want, not what you want, so that they can grow with you or without you. They can grow with you or without you, because I want you guys to know that chastity is not for everybody. And I mean, that's just real life. Anya, Ray Ray, Whitney, Amber, Katie, we're not for everybody. You may have joined us and thought we were your people and then realized that, oh, she ain't my people. I don't know about you, but I joined somebody and I realized they weren't my people. And it may have taken a while, but that's okay. The difference is that our job is to help you achieve the success that you want, whether it's with me, whether it's with any of these other 5 people that I surround my circle with, because they are the baddest bitches ever, or if it's somebody that you found on YouTube that you watch, if you're watching the recording. We are happy to be your mentors if you don't have somebody to look up to. That's okay. That's why we do what we do. That's why we put our recordings out there. So what I want you to know is that is your number one job as a leader. They should be able to grow to whatever level that they want to grow to with you or without you, whether they are in your group or whether they are watching you on YouTube, because Chastity learned a lot of the things that she learned from the very beginning of her business from people that were not in her group, upline, sideline, or anything. I learned a lot of things from people that just decided to be good people and put their stuff out there. So that's the number one thing that I want you to know. But I also want you to know this, and this is even more important than the first thing that I said, is you can listen to every training in the world. You can tune in to every single training that we do, that the people you look up to do, all the people that you look up to on social media. You can listen to every single training in the world, but nothing is going to happen and growth isn't going to happen until you implement and take some damn action. Period. You are going to have to take action on something that you heard from tonight, because it does not matter if you feed your brain every single day. Chastity feeds her brain with positivity every single day, but depression still tries to creep in. I have to take actionable steps to fight that. I have to take actionable steps to grow my business, or I will lay in the bed every single day and never move. Action is the key to your success. It does not matter how many trainings you listen to if you don't do shit about it. And I'm sorry, that's just what it's just what it is. This business is simple, but it's not easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. Everyone would be making 10, 20, 30, 40, $100,000 a month paychecks if it were easy. But it's simple. It's not easy for me to get out of bed on days that I am depressed, but it's simple for me to know the things that I need to do that's going to move the needle on those days. And there's seasons to this business. There's levels to this business, just like what somebody else said in the beginning. I'm telling you, I don't care if you stay on this call. If we stayed on this call till 2 a.m., I don't care if you listen to it. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to bitch about it, or are you going to be about it? And at the end of the day, that's what matters. You have to be about it. You cannot just listen to what we say and watch what we do, but do nothing about it. You have to be about it. So that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, is you need to learn, and this is something that is very hard, very hard. You need to lead your people where they are, not where you want them to be. You have to coach your team members where they are, not where you want them to be. And I want you to think about that. Think about how you're coaching people. And think about, and sometimes it's not because it's about us, it's because we see the potential in those people and we know that they have the potential to be a 1%er. They have the potential to make a $20,000 paycheck, but they're not putting in the work. You have to think about it. And Ray's already talked about, it's not about us, it's about them. But you have to realize that it's what they want for their life, not the potential that we see in them, because we can see so much potential in somebody. But if they're not willing to go do the work, it doesn't matter. It's a waste of time. Throw that time in the trash. Light that time on fire, because if they don't see it, or if they're not willing to put in the actionable steps to do it, you're absolutely fundamentally running your wheels, wasting your time, burn your money, throw it out the window, because it doesn't even matter until they believe it. So know this, your downline does not work for you. They work for themselves. They joined you, but they joined as an independent consultant. They work for themselves. Your goal should be to help them achieve their goals, not your goal. Once again, going back to what I just said, their goals. I know that there are people in my downline right now that could be making $40,000 in a month, but they won't do shit because they're lazy, because they don't have the good work ethic, because they would rather watch Netflix. Chastity watches a lot of TV. I do. I used to not watch a lot of Netflix and stuff, but Chastity does now. But you know what Chastity does do? She works during commercials. She rewards herself for, okay, I'm gonna watch this one Bachelor in Paradise 2-hour episode, but then I'm gonna go work in my office for an hour on income producing activities. I'm not making samples. I'm not doing the shit that's easy. I'm gonna go do the things that I don't want to do, which includes talking to people, because I don't like people, So, I mean, I reward myself. Like, that is the difference, but it has to be their goal. Chastity's almost quit Scentsy lots of times, very many times, like within the last year, lots of times, because people were pushing me to do things that I didn't want to do, telling me I had to do things that I didn't want to do, that made me literally want to curl up in a ball and die. That made me feel very alone. That made me exile myself from places that I didn't need to be, but it was because I was being pushed to do things in a business that I didn't agree with, that I didn't align with, that I didn't find joy in. And if you don't find joy in the things that you're doing, you're gonna quit. You're gonna burn out. You're gonna shut down. You're gonna never want to do this again. And it's taken me a long time, and finding my people has been absolutely key to that, to get back to where I needed to be. And I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm getting better every single day. But listen to this. You don't know what someone wants from their business until you ask them. Guys, for the love of Jesus, if you're going to ask somebody to join you, please, for the love of God, ask them what the hell they want from this business. Ask them, do they want to make $50? Do they want to make 100? Do they want to make 500? Do they want to make 10,000? That makes a difference, and you don't know until you ask them. Like, Lord Jesus, I know that all of these women have also heard trainings and have done the things where they're like, if you don't ask someone to join your team, I'm going to ask them. So once they join your team, don't let the questions stop. Ask them what they want. Now, once you ask them what they want, just like what Ray said, they may say that they want to make $10,000 a month, but their actions don't show that. That's fine. Keep on asking them, and you can have that hard conversation, just like what Whitney said about telling them, okay, well, you say you want to make $500 a month, but your PRV is $250. Let's talk about what we can do to fix that. Is that really your goal? Are you willing to put in the work? Okay. We aren't managers at McDonald's. We don't own these people. And Lord Jesus, I have a hard enough time telling my children what they need to do. I ain't got time in the world to tell anybody else to pick their underwear up off the floor or to go have a sponsoring conversation. We're not managers. We don't own them. They work for themselves. And you need to know this. And this is something that's really hard for me and probably hard for a lot of other of you. Oh, I can't even speak right now. You know what I'm talking about. 80% of your team is only going to want part-time income. Stop laughing at me. 80% of your team is only going to want part-time income. And Chastity started for part-time income. Amber started for part-time income. I'm not for sure about the rest of them just right off the top of my head right now, but a lot of us started for part-time income to supplement, like Anya wanted to pay for her homeschooling curriculum. Like, I did not start this business to quit teaching. I started on the $49 join kit with less than $72 in my bank account. I literally don't make good financial decisions. Okay. Like, that was the decision I made, but here I am. I got to stay home from teaching because teaching through COVID was going to make me kill myself because it was awful. And so I never joined for that reason. I joined for part-time income. And that's okay. Every single one of us SSDs have tens, 20, 30 people, if not more than that. I know I have hundreds of people within my team and my group that only want part-time income. Those part-time income people are important. They build your business too. It's a numbers game, period. And you are going to run away perfectly good team members because they don't want a $10,000 paycheck like you do. You will. Chastity was one of them. You will run them away. They may not want a $10,000 paycheck right now. Chastity woke up one day and decided that she did. Chastity woke up one day and realized that she had built something to where she had the option to walk away from teaching when that was never her goal. That may not be their goal right now. It may take them a year or two to gain the confidence that they need to gain the confidence that they need to realize that this is real life. How many of you joined? And I really actually want you to tell me in the comments, how many of you guys joined and didn't think that you could ever make an income that could actually walk you away or be a significant increase? You maybe just wanted $100. You maybe wanted some extra grocery money. Like, I see all of you guys saying me. Exactly. We were living for the extra fun money, the grocery money, the manicure money, the extra savings, the vacation money. We weren't living for money that could be what pays my bills and made me walk away from a job that I knew I wanted to be a teacher from the time I was 6 years old. And I never wanted to walk away, but here I am. So they may not want it right now. You need to support them where they are. And something else, circumstances drastically change within 30 seconds. Within 2 minutes, I found out that my husband was living a double life, had an affair, got the girl pregnant, and I was moving the hell out. And I was going to be a single mama. Within 30 seconds, I found that out. That 110% drastically changed my outcome on like my outlook on life instantly, because I was like, oh shit, I need to provide for this kid because he's not going to. And it wasn't an option for me. So realize that. Okay. And realize that if there's somebody that you see a lot of potential in and you want them to want more, you have to meet them where they are. You cannot coach them to where you want them to be. We're not dragging anchors around here. We ain't dragging no anchors. We are unanchored around here. We are pulling the people up the ladder that are ready to rise to the top. We're not dragging anchors. Okay. We're not begging people. We got a ladder. We ain't unanchored, or we are unanchored. Sorry. Okay. If you need new fire, if you can't find business builders, if you can't find your 1%, y'all can stop with the laughing or I'm going to have to stop training. Okay. Love you, mean it. You know what you need to do? You need to build a new team. Okay. You need to find new people. If you need new fire, the answer is always new people. And I promise I'm almost done. If you are the people that want big results, you want $10,000 paychecks, you want $20,000 paychecks, you want life-changing income, you got to go all in. You got to go all in. But you know what you got to go all in? The things that matter. You're going to go all in on the things that matter, not what's shown on social media, not what's shown on a freaking team page, not what's shown on the engagement on your team pages, not what's shown on the engagement on your reels, on your TikToks, on your polls, on any of the things. You have to go all in on the things that matter. You want to know what matters? People, parties, PRV. Everything is going to matter. Everything that's going to come from that is people, parties, and PRV. I know you're thinking, okay, what about sponsoring? Okay, guys, people, party, PRV. P squared. Okay. That's what's going to change your business. My pen just went flying, but that is what's going to change your business. That is what's going to matter. People, parties, and PRV. That's it. You want big results? Go all in on that. Now, last thing I'm going to talk about is how do you lead the people that are on your team that want you to lead them? How do you do that? What do you do to lead those people? How do you lead them? You know what you do? You build their belief. Because how many of you guys did not know that you could do this? Had no belief in yourself. That's chastity. Had no self-confidence, had none of the things, right? You build belief, okay? You give them the confidence that they need before they believe in themselves. Give them that confidence. Guys, do you know how many people wake up every single day and are only told the things that they do wrong? Do you know how many people wake up every single day and have a brain like Chastity and an inner mean girl like Chastity, and her brain tells her that she sucks and she's awful and she doesn't bring anything to the world? Guys, listen, you have to believe in your, it's so freaking hard to believe in yourself. So damn it, believe in somebody else. Believe in somebody else and build that belief. When you see somebody that's pretty or showing up or doing the things, freaking tell them. Stop thinking it and tell them. Be that person, okay? Speak life into them. Speak life into them. Your job is to identify and encourage their potential. The reason why half of you guys that are on this call won't post on a team page or a leadership page is because you feel like you're not providing value. Guess what, girlfriend? You are. You are. And I know that your brain and your inner mean girl is saying that you can't, that you don't, but you're wrong. Your inner mean girl is a bitch. And she's wrong, period. Name her. Whatever you want to name your inner mean girl, name her. But our job as leaders is to help identify and encourage that potential in people that can't see it themselves, because I can't see it in myself. But these girls right here will build me up and let me know that I'm wrong, that my inner mean girl's wrong. We have to be that for everybody else, okay? But at the same time, don't expect everyone to have the same desire and commitment as you. Okay. Don't expect them to have the same desire and commitment. You can still build that belief. You can still tell them that they have so much to offer. And if they're not wanting to put in their work, that's okay. But you can still build them up, because at the end of the day, I am a better person because of Scentsy and because of the people that I surrounded myself with, period. I was not a nice girl before this business. I am a completely different person. I tell people that know me around town, let me reintroduce myself. I am Chastity, the nice girl, not the mean girl, hateful person that I used to be. Okay. At the end of the day, we get paid for our performance. Your highest paid skill is being a leader. Okay. You need to know that. At the end of the day, people are praying for this opportunity every single day. They may just not know it yet. I was praying for this before I ever knew. I was praying for this before I ever knew this is what I was praying for. God knew I needed this business and I needed these people and I needed to grow this before, like 5 years before COVID ever hit. God knew that this was going to be the vessel to make me be my best me. And honestly, be the me that can heal from a lot of the trauma that I never had the opportunity to heal from because I was so go, go, go. That's why I've struggled more in the past couple of years, but I'm healing as a human. And at the end of the day, if I'm not healed as a human, I can't be anything for anybody else. So the last thing that I want to leave you with before Katie ends us out is I want you to think about this, and I want you to look around. If you're looking around and you can't find a good leader or you can't find a good person, then be one. If you can't find a good leader or a good person, then be one. Be the good person, be the leader that you wish you had. Be the person that makes everybody feel like somebody. Make everybody feel like they matter, because they do. Every person on this call matters. Every person that listens to this recording matters. And at the end of the day, we've all had bad leaders. We've all met bad people, but we have the opportunity to be one. Okay. Love y'all. Mean it. Katie, end this call for us. Love you guys so much. Let me mute myself wherever I am.
I mean, we could just end the call right now. What the part am I going to talk about? I mean, first of all, let me change the screen so I can look at faces. I literally don't even want to go right now, because how do you follow that? Okay, that was literally ridiculous. And Chas, before I go into what was on my notes that I don't want to talk about right now, Chastity just made the best point. You know what my biggest pet peeve is? This is my biggest pet peeve. Am I frozen? Can y'all hear me? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we
They'll
can see
text
you
me if
and
they
hear
can't hear
you.
me.
You're good.
Perfect. Chastity just said something. My biggest pet peeve is when people say they have a bad leader or a bad sponsor, and that's the reason why they can't work their business. That's probably one of my biggest pet peeves in this business. And that, be the leader you wish you had. If you had a bad sponsor, be a better sponsor. You know what made me be a better sponsor? I had a bad sponsor. Okay. I joined and I haven't heard from her since, literally. And it made me be a better sponsor. You can't blame your success or lack of success on people, because it works both ways, okay? Your sponsor's not the reason you're successful. And your sponsor's not the reason you're not successful. You are successful or not successful because of your work ethic. Point blank, period. Don't blame it on other people. But anyway, this is what I was going to talk about, this little segment. I have to go after all that Anya, that fire that Chastity just spit. Hashtag. I ain't gonna say that. Okay. Building never stops. Building never ever stops. I see y'all laughing. Woo, poker face. Building never stops. Okay. You don't just promote to director, star director, lead consultant, star consultant. Say you have a goal to promote to superstar consultant. You don't just get there and you say, oh my gosh, I have arrived at this moment. This is the moment. I have arrived, so I don't have to work anymore. I hit this goal. I'm done. Okay, we got here. Now we're done. Close the chapter, close the book. It doesn't happen that way, okay? It does not. Here's what I see what people do. People make a goal for a title, and your title should not be your goal. Your title should not be your goal. Your title, promoting to a title, whatever title, your title should not be your goal. What's going to happen to your life or to your team member's life once that goal is accomplished? Your title should not be your goal, because the title's going to come. If you do the work, the title's going to come automatically. When you get there, or if you're in our cases, right, everybody that's speaking on this call, we can't promote any higher. Okay, we can't promote any higher. You don't just get to SSD and say, oh my God, I have made it to SSD. I ain't got to do crap no more. I ain't got to do nothing. No, it does not happen this way. You don't just get to a title or hit a goal and you say, you're okay, I'm done. I've arrived. The same things that you did in your business when you first started are the same thing in your business that you have to continue to do month after month. And we'll talk about that in just a minute because it's like a trickle down effect. Everything that you did when you first started, hitting shooting star, hitting certified, hitting sensational start, hashtag I only hit sensational start level 1, okay, because I sucked when I first started. I sucked. But you gotta suck, because if you suck, you get better. Don't y'all be thinking nasty stuff either. I'm just saying, you have to suck to get better. I see y'all little freaky dinks looking at me like that. The same things that you did in the beginning of your business don't stop when you hit a certain title. You have to continue to do the things over and over again. So I see people so on fire for their business, right? They start and they're like, oh my God, so on fire for this business. And then over time, they stop being on fire for their business and they get overwhelmed for whatever reason, or they overcomplicate their business because they're comparing and they think they need to be doing all this stuff that they don't need to be doing. So now they're doing all this stuff and there's no results from doing all this stuff and they get overwhelmed. People work their business based off feelings, and you have to stop. You have to stop making the decision to work or to not work, to work or to not work. That is the question, off of feelings, because feelings come and go. Things happen in your life. Things go on in your life. Everybody has something go on in their life. You have to make a decision. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is this business worth it to you? You have to do the same things month after month that you started. It does not stop. I'm an SSD. I still book 6 to 8 parties every single month. I still sponsor at least 2 people every single month. And you know how I work with my team? This is the best part, okay? Because I see so many people overcomplicate leadership because you don't think you could be a good leader. This is the best thing. Do you want the secret to being the best leader? Work your business and then screenshot it and then share it with your team. Work your business. You book those parties and then you screenshot them. Screenshot the nose too. Screenshot the nose. Okay. Y'all know y'all don't get them. We like to screenshot the yeses. Okay. We like to show the yeses and the successes. You got to show, please show being ignored or being told no. Your team has to see that. They can't just see the good. They got to see the bad too. Work your business and then screenshot it and share it with your team. That is what leadership is. You doing the things that you know you need to be doing in your business, not just saying that you're doing that, okay? Not just saying that you're doing X, Y, and Z, but showing them that you are doing the work with them. When I do shout outs for my team, I always include myself, and I used to not. I'm like, no, I do. And then in parentheses, I say, only showing you guys this because I am doing this with you. I am working my business with you. I am doing these things right beside you. You're not doing it by yourself, because the best form of leadership that you can give them is your example. How are you going to teach them how to sponsor if you're not sponsoring? How are you going to teach them how to book parties if you're not booking parties? How are you going to teach that if you're not doing that? Think leadership like people overcomplicate it, like, oh, I don't know how to lead, or I'm a bad leader. Look, what they do with it after you share it with them is on them. What they do with what you show them and what you teach them is on them. It's not on you. It's on them to take what they learn from you, to roll with it, to make it their own. That's on them. So it never stops. It never stops. Over time, I have seen this business be so overcomplicated. I can't remember who said it. If it was Ray, if it was Shas, if it was Whitney. One of them bosses that went before me had said it. This business is a simple one. It's not easy because being uncomfortable is not easy. Nobody likes to be uncomfortable. Okay. Nobody likes that feeling. I still get very, very nervous every time I have a sponsoring conversation. So I just pretend they say no. Every conversation I have about booking a party or having a sponsoring conversation, in my head, I'm like, girl, you know they're going to say no. And then if they say yes, I'm like, oh my God, they said yes. But they can't let me down because I don't hurt my own feelings. I've already hurt my own feelings. I've already planned the conversation in my head that they're going to say no. So I'm not going to get let down. If anything, if they say yes, it's going to make my entire day. So that's what I do. So the same team, everybody's a leader up here. The same team that helped you promote is not going to be the same team that sustains that promotion. I'm going to give you an example. I promoted to SSD 2 years after joining. You have to have 4 frontline directors to promote SSD. Of those 4 directors that pushed me to my promotion, only 2 of the 4 are still with Scentsy. Only 2 of the 4. So had I gotten to SSD and said, oh, hot dog, I ain't got to work my team no more. I have arrived. Top of the company. Woo! Top of the company. I ain't got to book no parties. I ain't got to follow up. I don't have to have no sponsoring conversations. I ain't got to do none of that stuff because I have arrived. No. People, not everybody's in this to win it, and it's okay. Not everybody is here to stay, and that is okay. And that rhymed, and that will make a really cute meme. So one of y'all cute people that do graphics can create that, okay? I don't remember what I just said word for word, but it was good because it rhymed. Not everybody's here to stay, and that is okay. Stop begging people to stay. If I have people all the time asking me, this ain't for me, and I say, okay. What you want me to do, beg you? I'm not begging you to stay. I'm not begging anybody to stay. This is not for everybody for the long haul. So I promoted SSD 4 frontline directors. 2 of those 4 are not here any longer. They decided Scentsy was not for them, which is fine. You have to continue to sponsor to bring new people in and continue to show them how to work, to build them into leaders if that's what they want, to build more people. You always, growing never stops. It never, ever, 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 ever stops. Ever stops. You have to continue doing the things. And this is what happens, because I'm going to give you guys an example. And I really need to be better about sharing this, my personal business. The things that you need to focus on. PRV always comes first. My PRV preference is parties. That's my PRV preference because partying grows my customer base. I live in an area where there's a lot of consultants. I live in an area where it's not really the best place to be at. I don't know why we're here. Why are we still here, James? Why are we still here? We live in a spotlight town. There's nothing here. Why are we here? I party my butt off because I have to grow my customer base. So yes, partying increases my PRV, but it grows my customer base. Growing my customer base through parties, I follow up with those customers. I build relationships with them. I add them to Facebook. We become friends. Some of them, we be talking about crazy stuff. We talk about crazy stuff. I build relationships with them, but it leads into sponsoring. It leads into sponsoring. 90% of my frontline, I know through a party. I have 150 frontline. 90% of them came from a follow-up from a party. 90% of them came from a follow-up from a party. You have to party. Partying solves all your business problems. You want to know how to get higher PRV, how to sponsor? Party hardy every month. Party hardy every month. So parties, follow-ups leads into sponsoring. And then you screenshot it, okay? That's the third part. Screenshot you booking parties, screenshot you having them sponsoring conversations, and share it with your team. And share it with your team. I hear so many people all the time, leader, especially, and it's so disheartening because I get it. I get it. I am one that has never had belief in themselves. Never had belief in myself. I am not the leader kind. I am a follower. I am a great follower. I am the best follower. You give me instructions and tell me what to do, I will follow. Leading, not so much, okay? When I've said this on several trainings. When I was the nurse manager, which was a joke because I was 19 years old, trying to manage 40 and 50-year-old grown women, I was a baby. I used to write meeting notes and I used to read them just like this because I was scared shitless. I would read my notes like this because I was not the leader type. I was forced into leadership just because of my license. I was forced into it. I didn't want to be a leader. I am not the leader type. Follower. But what I learned, I was with this company for 10 years. I was a nurse for 10 years. My nurses never gave me any trouble. They came to work, they did their job, probably because they knew I didn't have the heart to write them up, even if they did get in trouble. They knew it would break my heart. Even if they were late, it was gonna break my heart to write them up. So they respected me because I worked beside them. I didn't sit in an office telling them what to do. They knew if they were short-staffed, I was on the floor working it with them. They knew if they were behind on, we called them jelly beans. To this day, I don't eat jelly beans because of them. They're called tasks in our computer. Every time you would get a task, you'd have a little circle and your task number would go up, and we called them jelly beans. Probably ain't eaten a jelly bean since then. They knew if they were behind on their jelly beans, I was going to help them. So when I got into Scentsy, lead consultant, as soon as I sponsored my first person, I showed them what to do. I didn't just say you're going to hit shooting star, or you're going to hit certified. I showed them. Are you telling your team what to do, or are you showing them what to do? So I listened to Joel Osteen. He's a preacher. You don't know who he is. I have to listen to him every single morning because my kids push me to the Lord before 8 o'clock every single morning. They push me straight to Jesus on the ride to school every single morning. But the other day I was listening to Joel, and he said, people will always remember your compliment over your criticism. I'll say it again. People will always remember your compliment over your criticism. I am the type of person that if I'm already down, we all go through stuff in life, okay? I'm real good at hiding my stuff. I'm real great at hiding my problems with a smile. It's probably not healthy, but I do it anyway. Slap a smile up there, put a little meme and a corny joke, butter it all up, and call it a good day. If you are the type of leader that can point out other people's wrongs, but not compliment them when they do right, I want to encourage you to reflect on that. Because I was a leader. I think one of the other speakers said this. I actually had a director quit because of me. And she was right. She said, you did not respect my boundaries, the reason why I joined, and you pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. And she was right. And the reason I know she was right is because when it was done to me and it didn't feel good, I didn't want to work anymore. I didn't want somebody said, oh my gosh, I did so great. But guess what? That's not enough. That's not enough. Oh, you had 8,000 PRV. And you sponsored 3 people. You should have sponsored 4 people or 10 people or whatever. People remember how you made them feel. Your team remembers how you made them feel. Are you the type of leader that's approachable? Are you the type of leader that people are okay coming to? I had to do, and we have a group chat, so we share with each other real life stuff. I want the same people that when they join under me, and they're here for a while, I don't want them to be like, God, that's not the same Katie I joined under. Or they were my customer. I don't want them to be like, oh, I used to buy Scentsy from her. Then I joined under her because I said, ready? Because I said, you can join even if you're a hobbyist, even if you want this to be a hobby, you can join just as a hobby. Then they join, and I push and push and push and push and push. It doesn't feel good. There's a difference between challenging people that want it, that want more out of this business. There is a difference between challenging and pulling out the best in people. There are amazing people within my group that just don't have belief in themselves. They want it. They don't have belief in themselves. So I encourage that and pull that greatness out of them. There's a difference between pulling greatness out of people and pushing people. There's a big, big difference, and you have to know why they joined to do that. But I don't want people, my customers, to join and then they'd be like, Katie, you are not the same person that I was buying Scentsy from. You were sending all these thank you messages, thank you. And then I joined under you, and you are not who you said you were. I don't want people to feel that way when they join. Reflect. The leader that you are, is that the person that you are in real life? Okay. I could care less what anybody in the Scentsy world thinks of me. As long as my husband and my kids and my closest friends, as long as they love me and care about me and I have good character with them, that's Chastie's. I was going somewhere with that. Be who your kids think you are. Okay? It makes it so much easier to fall into your leadership shoes when you are leading naturally the person that you are outside of Scentsy. Who are you outside of Scentsy? Do you lead that way? For a while, my team page was so serious. And I'm like, why does it feel so serious in here? But you funny on Katie, you are funny on Facebook. You post funny memes and corny jokes, but you are like real serious in Redeemed Blessings. You are so serious. Why? Because I felt like I had to, okay? People join this for fun. Yes, there is real money to be made in here. Yes, it takes real work to make big paychecks. Absolutely. But most people join for fun. Then they fall in love with the business, and then they want more out of it. People ain't going to join off the bat and say, oh my God, I want to make $10,000 the day they join. It does not happen. That doesn't happen. If you know anybody that joins day one and they're like, I want to make $10,000, let me know. I haven't met one person yet. Most people join for fun, for a hobby, to get paid off their own stuff. And then over time, they see the potential. They have to be in it first. Okay. But if we're scaring people out right off the bat, as soon as they hit the join button, okay, you joined. Hit $2,000. You need to hit $2,000 this month. On day one, be like, oh, killer, I destroyed. Just press. I ain't got my join key yet. Lead. I didn't say that. Oh, killer. Lead being the person that you are. Who are you in real life? Be comfortable with that. I had to be comfortable with no longer feeling like I had to be perfect or feeling like I had to be a perfect leader. I feel bad for my group sometimes. They don't have a perfect leader. They don't. They have a messy leader. And they have a leader that loves them so freaking much. And they know I love them. Because it's behind the scenes. It's the things that Facebook doesn't show and Instagram doesn't show. Those things, the behind the scenes things that you can't take pictures of, that you can't put a filter on, that you can't make a flyer of, those are the things that truly matter in your business. The text, the voice messages, the emails, The things that you can't show proof of are the things that matter most. They know your heart. They know when it's real. They know when it's fake. They know. People know. The things, so why I love this. So I disconnect a lot on the weekends from social media. But during the week, there are days where I'm barely on social media. And I will have people message me saying, Katie, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, why? Oh, because you ain't posted in your stories today. I just want to make sure I'm fine, girl. I'm over here texting some of my teammates and my customers. I mean, I'm working. And those are the things that matter. It's the behind the scenes things, not posting in my stories or on social media, because hashtag the things that are in my stories probably didn't even happen that day. They probably didn't happen that day. I take a million pictures as I work throughout the month. I'm about to post a story of me with a brick here. And I took that picture 2 months ago. If I'm working, you won't see me. The relationship with your customer, the relationship with your teammate, the relationship with your leaders. If you have directors, the relationships with your directors, your relationships are what matter. Those are the things that matter. The relationship. How are you working your business to build relationships? Are you worried about fancy smancy flyers and samples? Are you worried about samples? Are you worried about how you are making your customers feel? How are you making your team members feel? Do you make them feel valued? Do you make them feel loved? If people feel valued and people feel loved, they stay. They stay. They don't care. They don't care what it looks like. They care how it makes them feel. Do your customers feel loved, valued? Because there was a time, y'all, my customers didn't get no mail outs. They got a thank you text. That's what they got. But they knew I loved them and they knew I cared about them. My team members, there was a time they didn't get team mail, that they didn't get emails, that they didn't get all of these things. They got my text or my voice message. How do people feel about you? Because that matters. It matters. As a leader, it matters. If you make people feel loved and you make people feel valued, as a leader, they're not going to want to go. They're going to want to stay. They're going to come to you. They're going to want to work with you. Okay. I want to work with my directors to lead our group because it's not my group, it's our group. And in order for us to lead our group together, I have to have trust with them. I have to have a relationship with them. We have to have a relationship so we can lead together. I'm not leading this shit by myself. But in order for them to trust me, I have to have a relationship with them. In order for them to want to lead, there has to be a relationship. Otherwise, they're not going to listen to crap. Listen, it doesn't matter if you tell them the best thing in the world. If you've already made them feel like crap, they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to listen to you. People remember how you made them feel. There are certain people I will not listen to at all because of how they made me feel. It doesn't matter if the content's great. You done made me feel like crap. So I'm not listening to you. You've already made me feel some type of way. So it doesn't matter what you have to say. Your content may be great. You may have all the solutions, but I'm not going to listen to you because of the way that you made me feel. That's how your teams are going to be. That's how your teams are. How do you make your teams feel? Okay. I feel like that's it. Building never stops. Building never stops. People have gotten so lost in this business. People have gotten so lost in this business with things that don't matter. Foundational things matter. Do you have a foundation for your business? Because I can promise you, if you don't have a foundation, meaning PRV sponsoring, your business will crumble. Don't skip on the framework, the most important things for your business. Don't skimp on those things. You may skimp on them for a while and survive, but eventually your business will crumble. Eventually, if you have no framework and you just living off of LTOs and join specials, you answer in the comments and then I'm done, I promise, because we already went over an hour. Do you run your business off of join specials and LTOs? Because if you are somebody that only sponsors when there's a joint special, or you only have high PRV when there's an LTO, you don't have a sustainable business. And I mean that with so much love in my heart. We could have had no LTOs this month. My business is going to be great because I got 8 parties. I got 8 parties booked, and I'm trying to flip 2 of them. Look, LTOs are just LTOs and join specials. They are just the cherry on the top. You have to have a framework for your business. And so many people in the last 2 years have gotten away from foundational things, and they think posting on social media is some magic button. The magic post button is going to solve all their business problems. And I can promise you, ask yourself, if Facebook went away tomorrow, if Instagram went away tomorrow, would your business be successful? And if the answer is no, I want to encourage you to work behind the scenes. Do the things that nobody sees. Do the foundational things. Those are the things that matter. All right, I am done. I am done. Know where Ray Ray went.
I'm right
Yeah,
here.
she's the host.
I'm
She
right
ran
here.
away with her beautiful model picture.
I'm right here. Yeah,
No, right.
so good, guys. I'm so sorry that we're almost at 2 hours, but
It
it's
is what
okay.
it
It was a
is,
lot of
man.
good
That's right.
content. Yeah, it was so good. So, that's it, guys. I hope you guys took all the notes. And if anyone took like really good notes, I would love, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for everybody, would love if you would share them on your team page, well, on your
Please
leadership
do.
page. So I'm not the greatest. I take notes, but my notes are like all scrambled. That's just how my brain is. And so I know that there's some people up here that are like fancy schmancy with their notes, and I would love to see them. So if you have some, please share them. And we hope that you guys loved tonight's call and hope you guys have a great rest of your month. October is literally the best month of the year. Okay. And I'm saying that because number one, my birthday's October 20th. Write it on your calendar. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But really, it is the best month in Cincy. Okay. So if you've never experienced a fall with us, this is it. This is the month of the year. Okay. So get ready. Okay. So y'all got this. Bye, y'all. Thank you for joining.
y'all.
We appreciate it.
October's anniversary month too, so
Oh, yeah, it's my anniversary too. Oh yeah, it's my wedding and my anniversary. It's everything. Guys,
see,
that's not
October's your
me.
month all the way around.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.